Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to One Global Movement Speak with Heart. Thank you guys so much and have a thankful Thursday. I am just speaking so fast because I'm rushing. I am just coming back from my mom's appointment and we are a little bit late. We are sorry for the lateness, but we are here all the same. But thank you guys so much for being here today. And we always have to start by thanking the one who brought us here together, which is Mr. Ash Mufare. And the one that we are using, the products that him and the team created for us to use, O-Bless, O-CADEMY, O-Connect, and other products that are available. So thank you guys so much. And we want to thank him and thank his family and thank our God that brought him to us. And we are following in his footprints with One Global Movement, trying to use the products to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, poverty, homelessness, abuse, and all other social challenges that our young people and children find themselves in, and also families, because we cannot work with children and young people without working with families as well. So that's why we are here. Let us keep encouraging one another so that these things can get to all families around the world. Because if we don't put the word out there, they will not get it. And we have links on the flyer for people to sign and join our WhatsApp group and also the Facebook group so that everybody is free. Excuse me, my God. Today is a day. Sorry about that. So everybody is free to share their opinion according to the way they are raising their children, according to their own culture, according to the challenges that they find in their various communities. Because if we don't do this, we will not be able to help the children. We will be helping some children and not helping the others. So we need everybody's contribution here. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, that you see in your community, in your family with regards to children, please bring it up. But even with regards to family, because sometimes the parents and the caregivers are in some kind of difficulties or challenges too. That is why they are not able to raise those children. It's a lot of things, but we are not here to judge people. We are not here to criticize people. We are not here to fake. We mean business here. And we're going to keep learning as we go along, correcting ourselves along the way. We are here to nurture, to love our children, and to take any challenges that come their way and our way and see what we can do about it. So this is very important, and we take it very seriously. You see these women on the panel here, that's exactly all of us, our mindset. We're doing this for the war because every child matters. And Yvonne reminded me this morning, Yvonne Finn, about this beautiful lady, Malala Yousafzai.
Yousafzai, yes.
And then she wrote, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. And it's the same thing with President Nelson Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. And that is so true. Because if we feed these children, they don't know how to get the food or how to even prepare the food. And all of those things that come with food and where to get the clean water, where to even get the resources, then we must not have done these children any justice. So we want to make sure that we combine hunger and education together with any other thing, because if you don't educate them, it means how long are you going to be here to keep feeding them? We want to teach them to be able to fend for themselves and become economically, financially, and spiritually stable and independent without having to depend on some other person unless they really have to. So that is why we are here, and we are going to keep doing it and doing it until we touch every child. It might just be a little dense right now, but it's going to keep increasing. So thank you so much for being here. And our topic for today, Dr. Benny, I'm going to be working for Dr. Benny today. And like I worked for Melanie last Tuesday. So hopefully they're going to be able to pay all those debts back. So Our topic for today, we are in the series, Oh Bless O-CADEMY Revolution, Part 60. We can only keep climbing higher and higher. And the theme for today is, why is food insecurity a problem in developed countries as well as developing countries? Why? Begin to write your reasons. What do you find around you that is the problem with regards to food security? Why are our children not eating enough? Why are they not even eating healthy foods? Why? What do you see in your family? What do you see in your environment? What do you see when you travel the world? What do you see? And what is your own contribution there? Why are your children not eating the way they're supposed to eat? Is it because of lack of job opportunities on your part, the leaders, the parents of the home? Is it because of drought or something? What is it? Begin to put it in the chat. So, why is food insecurity a problem in developed countries as well as developing countries? So, we want to see look at this because some people, they think that food insecurity is only in developing countries. No, it is all over developed countries as well. And the factors might be different, but a lot of them, some of the factors are similar. And what are we doing about this? We need to do something silently because it is the action that speaks, not people going around opening their mouth, but do it and do it well. Because when we do it, it doesn't matter whether your children are eating now. Have you secured their future and future generations from those children, your great children? Have you secured their future with food? No, we have to do it thinking in the long haul, thinking for millions of years to come, but it starts right now. So, food insecurity in developed countries highlight the prevalence of food insecurity among children and youth in developed nations, challenging the misconception that hunger only exists in developing countries. This is a misconception and it's a myth. That is not true. And we want to clarify this because whether it is a developed country or a developing country, it is the same. The factors might be different, but food insecurity is everywhere. So the portrayal of food insecurity in developed and developing countries by the media can sometimes oversimplify complex issues. Yes, sometimes when the media portrays food insecurity, it might look like it is so simple in other countries and it's better in other countries. But if we begin to look and do our research uniquely, individually, in our areas, we realize that these things are almost the same in developed and underdeveloped countries. There are some general points on how they might be portrayed. So, developed countries, let's look at developed countries first. We talk about economic disparity. Economic disparities causes food insecurity in developed countries. Developed countries like some of us are living in now, Canada, you have UK, United Kingdom, you have the United States of America, and other countries. So we live there, we see it, because if we don't see it, we'll not be able to talk. We're talking because we've lived it, we're seeing it every day around us. So now, what is the cause of this food insecurity? You have low wages, and then underemployment or unemployment can make it even more difficult for individuals or families to afford an adequate diet. Even affording a diet, not even adequate, not even the nutritious one. Sometimes it can be difficult for people to just look for food to fill their tummies. Why? Because they have low wages. Why low wages? There's a lot of things we can treat that low wages, causes of low wages in developed countries. If somebody can write that down so that we will come around again and treat that again as a whole topic on its own. Why the low wages in developed countries? When we know that developed countries, they pay highly, there are always employment, the economy is so powerful. Why the low wages? So we're going to come back to that. The second point is that high cost of living. I experienced it. I'm sure a lot of us are experiencing it. The high cost of living in urban areas, especially the high cost of living, including rent, utility, utility bills, and transportation, and even mortgages are very, very expensive. These can leave little room in the budget for nutritious food for our children, even us. Because if you don't eat well, how are you going to provide for your own child? Right? So that is what it is. So high cost of living. When you don't have the finances to pay for the cost of living, it becomes a major problem. And this alone will also generate a lot of other problems, because if you cannot put food on the table as a parent, for your children or your family, what happens? You develop a headache, you develop anxiety, you start looking low upon yourself. A lot of other things also come along. So, but we're talking about the factors that causes food insecurity in developed countries. Number 3, lack of access. Some communities in developed countries, particularly rural or remote areas, may lack access to grocery stores with fresh and affordable produce, leading to food deserts. Some of them eat desserts for food because they don't have the right food to eat. The little that they have, they're just struggling because they don't have the means to go and have this food, like transportation. They don't have cars. Some of the rural areas, the buses don't go there. The buses don't go there for them to take buses for people who don't have cars. And so it becomes a big problem. And sometimes that one will be for developing countries. I'll come to that one. So I wanted to talk about transportation. So because when you cannot access even information, some people don't know how to access the information that will lead them to get food. And that is why you see in developing countries, they have these social workers, they have people that can disseminate this information. But most often, those offices are located in township areas, which means the people that live in the suburbs, they will not be able to get to that information. Some don't even know where that information is. Some don't even know how to read and interpret that information. And so it is so important, very vital, that we do this, because how do you expect somebody to get the food to the grocery store when they can't even get there? No transportation. They don't even know where those places are located. We need to do something, because as treating a child that goes hungry in the city is the same thing that would treat a child that lives in the suburbs. Even if there is just one house in the suburbs, it's very important that we create access that they can be able to reach to food in order not to go hungry. And then we have health issues in developed countries. Health problems such as obesity or chronic diseases can be both a cause and a consequence of food insecurity in developed nations. You see, healthier food options are often more expensive in developed countries, leading individuals to rely on cheaper, less nutritious alternatives. Yes, I found myself at one point too, also buying cheaper things. Even I'm trying to remove that word from my son's mouth, not to buy cheap, but buy healthy, because at one point my wages could not support my family, and also supporting 9 other adopted children, and also supporting even my community, even the community here in the United States, because I was supporting women, single mothers, young single mothers in the hospital with a future for their children. And so I was working 3 jobs, going crazy, not even having time for my own self and my children. And so this is a big deal. If you don't have the money to buy, now you get the little money that you have, you go towards the cheaper option, which most of the time is not healthy. And there are places where they even promote those cheaper options. Some of them are called food shelves that I know. You go there, some of the food is expired food. It's already expired. And some of it, canned foods in particular, because I'm not a fan of canned foods at all. I'm a fan of fresh food, because to encourage your children, your family to eat healthily. And now they'll say these ones are expired, but you can still use it. Those things are not good. And being a Black mother, I must say this, being a Black mother, when one time I was offered that option, I said, no, I am not going to take that. If it's not available, that's okay. I would rather go hungry than to go and buy a disease and put it in your system and in the system of your children. So this is very, very important. And this also help us to teach our children to read labels on the food that you buy. Don't buy something without reading the label. What does it contain? That is why we're going to be teaching vitamins and different kinds of things, so that when you children go to buy things, my son used to read it a lot. I taught him very young. He would read. And then now he caught me trying to take something because I was having to put in the cart. He said, Mommy, did you read the label? I said, no. He said, no, give it to me. I have to read it. And so he read it. He read it. And so, but we have to keep reminding them, because as children grow, because their brains are occupied with a lot of other things, trying to dabble with their identity and other things, they don't try to read it. And now they start going to fast food area, all these junk places, So it is so, so important that we teach our children to read the labels. This is the cause of a lot of food insecurity, obesity, and other things that come out of these factors in developed countries. And this can be eliminated because we have more than enough. And then we also, now, those are the few factors. It's a big topic. Now let's look at developing countries. We have already looked at developed countries. We see that health issues is one of the factors. Lack of access is one of the factors. High cost of living is one of the factors. Economic disparity. And bear in mind that economic disparity here is also based on the classification of people in the society. This one is higher, this one is in the middle, this one is at the bottom. When you put that into people's brains, particularly children, they start behaving that way instead of treating people on an equal basis. Because what the media keep shooting out there, because the media is the number one place for information, and it's hitting our children every day, all around, when they wake up from bed and when they go back to sleep. And so we need to be really, really careful. So we also talk about health issues. So it's a lot of factors, but we want to make sure that we are treating these very important factors, because when we start with one factor, it will lead to the other ones. But now that we know there are a lot of things that we can do to really help with food insecurity in developed countries. Now, let us look at developing countries. What is the number one cause of food insecurity in developed countries? Poverty. And poverty, is it natural poverty? Is it man-made poverty? Is it foreign poverty caused by foreign factors? What is it? So the primary cause of food insecurity in many developing countries is poverty. Low incomes and lack of economic opportunities mean that many people simply cannot afford to buy enough food, let alone nutritious food. Poverty. You can have all the land, you can have all the resources, but if you do not still have that money where you can use to employ farm machineries, you can use to employ like my traditional hoe. I use a traditional hoe still, and used to employ a lot of things, even the boots and other things to wear to the farm, cutlasses and all those farm tools. It is going to be difficult. So poverty become the number one for developing countries. But should it be this way? Can it be changed? It is left to us to answer this question, if it can be changed. And we're coming back to take one point from this and treat it all the time from this big, vast topic here. So climate and environmental factors play a crucial and a very vital role in food security in developing countries. Extreme weather events, changing rainfall patterns, and environmental degradation can disrupt agricultural production, leading to crop failures and food shortages, right? That is number one. And how can we do this? We can do something, because some people, not some people, a lot of people ignorantly contribute to the bad weather changes without knowing. I know, and I've seen it. My parents, they said, do not burn the soil. Do not put fire on the soil. But in my village, where we have this elephant stock grass, it's very fertile. It makes things to grow very well. But it is hard work to do it, especially with the tools that you can really dig them out. They don't have it. But when they do little by little eventually, because they know that the food does well there, they will try to burn it. They burn it. When they burn it, you plant cocoyams, you plant vegetable, it grows so well, very well. And they think that is good. But here's the thing though, it's good now. In the future, you destroy that soil. You destroy the soil. There's a lot of ways that it can be done. I'm saying this from experience because my mom did that. We had a lot of vegetable to sell. I was carrying vegetable all over and be selling. Fine vegetable is going. So I know those things. And so they don't know that you are satisfying yourself just for now, but you're destroying the soil for the future. And it's not a good thing to do. But they don't understand until they are educated. But later on, we start educating the village. I was in the team of students that were educating the village, among other things. And they started really, really retrieving from doing that, and then started like trying to prepare the farm way ahead of time. So those elephant stock grasses can get rotten, sit there and get rotten and produce natural manure. So it has to be done way ahead of time. So that's how we did it. And things are doing well, because they didn't know. And now the second factor, political instability and conflict. Very, very important, because a lot of the things that go against our children and young people in the world, it's politics, world politics, family politics, village politics, community politics, everywhere playing politics. Politics doesn't just mean like political parties and all those things. A lot of politics are being played in families and communities and villages and governments, So conflict and political instability can disrupt food production, distribution networks, and access to markets, exacerbating food insecurity in developing countries. We know it. We see it every day. If we just talk about the most recent one, because we should be talking about this thing. It's not a question of robbing it or just trying to cover it. Don't talk about this. You see a child. I've seen that child. I cry. I have the picture, and it's in my memory. When I cry all the time, I said, but look at this 2-year-old baby. Doesn't know anything. Living in a refugee camp, a war that is caused not because of anything that child did. A war, and now this child is forced to go to the garbage because she's hungry. She wants to eat. Digging into smelling food, the flies are there. And now the journalist comes to take a picture. A journalist, for me, I would have gone there with a bag of food, not just going there to take pictures to be showing in the media. Take a picture, the little girl, the little baby just thinks that maybe he too was hungry like her. And she just pick up from the garbage and say, here, take. Maybe you're hungry. That is the most powerful picture of all. I'm telling you. And it always brings tears to my eye when I talk about this situation. And there are a lot of other situations. What are we doing about it? What can we do? What can we come together to do about it? Do we just show a blind eye like, oh no, those are not my children. That's not in my community. They should take care of their own thing. No. God created us as belonging to the same whole. We need to feed the hungry. The scripture says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Speak up for the hungry, for the destitute, for the poor. Speak up and judge righteously and stand up for everything that is not correct. Are we standing up for these children? Truly standing up, not just talking? Are we truly doing it? I was a child. Remember that. My case might not have been in food insecurity or hunger, but what was given to us or my mom worked, it was taken away from us. And therefore, we're always in a battle. And this one was a case of abuse. That's the politics that they play in families and villages, in communities and governments. We need to stand up and do something. You're eating, your children are eating and going to bed. Did you ask? Let us come back to the ancient way of living as a village, living as a global community, that we need to help one another. If you're going to eat today, think about it. Have you gone to the schools to see If you see a child not just being so sad and maybe that child is sick, maybe they didn't pass their exam, or just maybe they didn't eat well. Did you go to your school to go see? Did you volunteer in your school to find out? If you say, I don't see them, you don't see them because you don't want to see them. Go to the schools, go to the villages, go into the suburbs, go everywhere. Because this really bothers me because I've seen too much. I've seen a lot of children suffering, and we just don't even care. We don't care because we are afraid of one thing. What are you afraid of? Why don't you die for a child that is even just wasting? Why? And you sit there, you're just watching because they're projecting it on the screen to show, oh, this country is like this, or this section of the country is like this. No, that's not the way God ordained us. We have been chosen, we have been anointed, ordained, and appointed to go and save every child of the world. We need to do this, not to do it. You think that you will live happily, you will never be happy. And when you die, your descendants will never be happy either because you didn't do the job. But let us teach our children. Teach a child. You are sitting in class. A child is complaining they don't have a textbook. Bring it home to your parents and say, Mama, Daddy, I was sitting with this child, I didn't have a textbook. What can we do about it? I'm saying it because my son does that. He's that kind. He'll say, Mommy, can we buy books and a uniform for this person? And if you don't, oh no, he's not going to be happy with it.
Yvonne, can you round it up?
Okay, I will. We're going to be having up to almost 1 hour too. That's okay. Yes. So that's why I take time. If we finish before 1 hour, that's fine. But if we go up to 1 hour, that's
all right.
Yeah, thank you so much for reminding me. Yes. So now, a lot of things. So lack of infrastructures. These developing countries lack infrastructure. Poor infrastructures, including roads, farm to market roads. In my area, I walk for 2-3 hours to get to the farm, carry things on my head, and come back home. And I'm used to it. That's why you see me here in summer. I will carry my tomatoes around here. And the people in my community here, they'll be like, you carry it on your head. I said, oh, yes, I'm used to this. Is what I know. And I'm happy with that. But poor farm to market roads, poor governments who will not even allow you, because I try to help with building roads and bridges in my village so that they can help. They don't want it. All this bribery and corruption. They want you to give that money, even if they want to build a road. The road is not so good. The road will just go bad in less than no time. They're playing politics even with the roads. Imagine that.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. And then market access. Market again. This one is almost like the developed countries, but this one in itself is different. You have to walk for quite a while to get to some of the big markets. I know it because I live there. I live that life, And then this can limit the ability of farmers to bring their produce to market and increase food prices for consumers. When this happens, no good roads, you can't even get access quickly. The little that they can manage to bring to the market, the prices are exorbitantly high. And now preventing your children. I have lived it, and I know. And sometimes the food is even bad in the farm because there's no transportation means. You see that? A lot of things can go wrong. So while these are general trends, it's important to recognize that the causes of food insecurity can vary widely within the country, between countries, and they are often interconnected, whether you like it or not. Food insecurity in the United States of America causes food insecurity in Canada, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in India. That is why we say what affects one child affects every child in the world. And this is so important. And now we the parents, we need to start thinking like that. What I'm doing to my child, is it going to be of any benefit to another child that lives even in my neighborhood or out of the country? What you do to your child is going to affect another child because that's the spirit. You don't see it, but it is there. It is going to happen. So this is very, very crucial that we pay close attention to this. Additionally, media portrayals may sometimes focus on sensational aspects or specific areas rather than providing a comprehensive understanding of the underlying issues that causes food insecurity. Media can corrupt, and it corrupts so well. If let us begin to teach our children to pick and choose. You are on your phone. What Everything that pops up doesn't have to be your. It doesn't have. You don't put your eyes on there. Did you intend to read something like that? Not every link that you can click, not everything that you could want to read it. No, we pick and choose. We pick and choose and watch news. Just so you know, I've not watched news for more than 10 years because every time that I watch it, I cry and then I develop a headache. But now what I do is I can now go on my phone and Google and type in what kind of news that I want to read or I want to listen. It's better that way than to be watching something because you know what is being projected on the screen is not the truth. And it really makes me sick all the time. So I just didn't want to watch it because I kept developing migraine headaches just because of that. So this is so important. I am going to let everybody come out with their own contributions. Please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a wonderful contribution you have made there.
Thank you, Dr.
In
Yvonne.
fact, if I have to say, you have covered all grounds. So I do not know if we still have some new points to add to that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, basically, food insecurity is everywhere, both in developed and underdeveloping countries. Just like you have mentioned, a lot of factors contribute to that. And you have really addressed the factors so well. You have talked about poverty, you have talked about increase in population. You have also talked about factors affecting the crop growth, diseases, water insecurity, climate. You have talked about a lot of other things, increased targeting of civilians, which has restricted food through the disruption of global markets. We're also looking at the migration of people in search of greener pastures, leaving their lands to cultivate and be able to grow their own food. All these are parts of that. Again, climate crisis, droughts, cyclones, all these things are the major things that is making food not to go around to serve the population. So environmental impacts also, like soil erosion and water pollution, all these things are factors. So because a lot of time has been taken and all these points are like we are repeating them, so I would like Corrina and Sister Yvonne to also say one or two words so that we can, thanks.
Go ahead, Corrina, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Dr. Yvonne. Yeah, no, nothing new. It's always just, I'll read what I have, but you pretty much covered it. It's the same as what I have. Maybe just a little bit more jumbled than Dr. Yvonne.
Can you raise your voice a little bit, sorry, please?
She does it so well. Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. There are numerous causes of food insecurity. These include population growth and rising food, transportation, and agriculture costs. As well, the recent economic downturn has resulted in reduced global investment in food and agriculture development. The major cause of food insecurity is poverty, as well as environmental degradation. That's a tough word for me. Conflict and climate change. Food insecurity is more common in developing countries. Almost 800 million people in the developing world do not have enough food to eat, and another 34 million people in the industrialized countries and countries in transition also suffer from chronic food insecurity. The leading causes of drivers that cause food insecurity are lack of access to farming lands. Food is grown or produced from the land where income is also generated. Land grabbing, conflict, violence, and wars, unfair trade rules, fast-paced population growth, biofuels, natural disasters, climate change. Poverty is higher in developing countries, according to the Asian Development Bank. The major causes of poverty include low economic growth, a weak agricultural sector, increased population rates, and a high volume of inequality. Primary cause for hunger in developed countries is poverty. That results from a lack of jobs or jobs that pay too little. Every community is affected by food insecurity. However, people in rural communities, and the South are often more likely to lack access to enough food. This is because of many factors, likely poverty, unemployment, and the cost of living. Food insecurity is linked to negative health outcomes in children and adults, and it may cause children to have trouble in school. Global hunger remained relatively unchanged from 2021 to 2022, but is still far above pre-COVID-19 pandemic levels, affecting around 9.2% of the world population in 2022 compared with 7.9% in 2019. Developing countries have persistent instability due to adverse climate effects, conflict, and economic slowdowns all contribute to food insecurity. Governments, non-governmental organizations, and global leaders across all sectors need to work together to find new solutions to world hunger. World hunger can seem like one of these insurmountable problems too big for any of us to fix. By making changes in our own lives at home, at work, in our communities, we too can contribute to finding world hunger solutions. Together, we can build a world where meals are shared, everyone has a fair serving, and there's always enough food for everybody to go around.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for
That is
those
great.
statistics. Very
Yes, that
well
is
done.
great.
Those
That is great,
statistics,
Corrina.
I so
Thank you.
love them,
Thank you.
bringing
Thank
them
you.
in here.
Thank
And as we go along, this is just an introduction topic. We're going to go in there together. What can we talk
Yes.
about next? Together, we take what we can talk that is so crucial for the well-being of these children. So thank you
Yes.
guys so much,
That's
Yvonne.
great, Corrina, because you brought it right down to where it will be solved. We've
Yes.
been waiting forever for the bigger governments, and it's not going to come from there. It's just not going to happen there. It's one-on-one, right at the ground level and
As
grassroots. Anyways,
people.
it's such people power. It's such a great topic. It's huge. It's the topics are getting huger and huger in this platform. They cannot be spoken about here. I mean, without going over them again and again and again. Thank you, Dr. Mundih. That's great what you did, because you covered it really equally from both sides. And it's true that the cause of food insecurity is different here in North America or in this region than it is there. But the result is the same. People are dying of hunger, and neither section is solving it. I remember one of the astronauts had said, we can send a man to the moon. Some people don't believe it, but we can send a man to the moon, and we can't solve our own issues right down here. It is ridiculous. And we claim to be the higher species. I mean, just mind-boggling. Anyways, I was looking at a simple definition of what it is. Food insecurity is an official term from the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture. It says it's when people don't have enough to eat, don't know where their next meal will come from. It's a big problem in the United States, where over 44 million people, including 13 million children, experience food insecurity annually. So we're bringing it down to our side. The underlying causes of food insecurity in sub-Saharan, Africa, the Horn of Africa, as they call it, is drought and conflict. That's what's causing it. Are the main factors that have exacerbated the problem of food production, distribution, and access. High rates of population, as Corrina said, growth and poverty have also played a part within an already difficult environment of fragile ecosystems. But you were talking about how they're depleting the land, over farming it, and farming it with the wrong food as well, because different foods require, some foods that they're bringing there have no business being there. You know what I mean? If we were looking to cultural and traditional foods, it would probably fare better, right? The fact that almost 80% of the population of the countries in the Horn of Africa, as they're calling it, is rural and depends almost exclusively on agriculture for its consumption and income needs. So it's not just to eat, it's also how they make money for other things in life, right? Means that measures to address the problems of poverty and food insecurity must mainly be found within the agricultural sector. The Horn of Africa, the easternmost part of Africa, presents perhaps the most difficult challenge anywhere in the world to achieving the goal which was set by the UN Secretary General in the Millennium Report. They were planning to halve the proportion of the people living in extreme poverty by 2015. That has not been done because it's just such a problem that they can't solve. And so it continues. Today, it is estimated that more than 50% of the people in the Horn of Africa survive on less than $1 per person per day. Think of that. What can you buy with $1? I don't care where you transfer it to. It means nothing, right? And so you were talking about being able to buy nutritious foods and having to make hard choices about maybe picking food that's not good for you and you know it, but otherwise you will die of starvation. So the connection between poverty and food insecurity is important. Food production is significant because for the majority of the poor, agriculture is the main source of livelihood, and some 76% of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development population is classed as agricultural. And so we have to find that connection between poverty and food insecurity.
Yes.
That is the solution.
Thank you.
We can't get around it. We can't get around it.
Thank you.
And what Corrina said is true. It starts not from the big governmental agencies. They've tried it. It's not working there.
It will never work. It's not going to work. We got to take matters into our own individual hands. It's your family, it's your child. And let me say this, and not to say everything, but I have to be very careful to the way I say it, because we're not here to criticize or to put people down or anything. But here's the thing. But I want, first of all, I'm going to use the statement of Mr. Ashmufara. He said, can you just imagine how we can do farming today on a larger scale, very easy, with this artificial intelligence product, that you can be in the United States, but you can have farms all over the world. Just think about how farming used to be done 100 years ago, and how we're going to be doing it now.
Back to our ancestors.
That alone really helps me a lot to calm down, knowing that better is coming. But better is coming. What about the child that is wasting right now, that is hungry right now? Better is coming. We need to take action. Do not wait for anybody, because nobody brought you to this world. I must say it that way. God brought you to this world, and you brought those children to this world. We all have to come together to look for ways. And when we are talking about these conflicts and climate change, and we realize that a lot of chemically destructive things are being deposited in some places and countries in the world.
A lot of HARP, the weather is not what you think it is.
Yes.
They're using HARP.
There is something more than the weather.
They're controlling the weather.
There is something more than the soil. There is something more than, and they know.
Because
why would you want to do something that is not good to a child when you're not doing it to your own child? And can your children live alone on this earth? The conflict that they're talking about, those who know, they know. It's not, what is it? We know it. We know it, but what are we doing about it? Are you the one that likes to take bribes, or you're so corrupt that you want to take something in order to even sell out your own children so they can suffer? There's a lot to this, but it all boils down to what you guys have said. Corrina said it has to start with us at home. Do not be raising your voice at anybody. Nope. We are responsible for our own. You are responsible for your family. We are responsible for ourselves, because when everybody carry that responsibility and start doing it, guess what? Eventually, there will be government programs that will solve this issue. The scripture says it. Take care of your own household before you even want to take care of outside. Or you first of all look at the lump that is in your eye before you want to look at the peck that is in somebody's eye. What are we doing? We can learn. If you've not done it like me, for me, I can do anything in this life. I can really cut a big tree by myself with an axe and cutlass. I can do that. I can do all those things. I can really do it. I don't need an engine saw.
I can do it too.
Not good. Not good. Not good. That's why in this world of technology, we have stuff. So then I don't have to do that with my hands, because it takes time. So we have good things that we can produce, organically produced foods in large quantities that will satisfy all our children.
Yvonne? Might take us a week, but we'll do it together.
We might do it already. We can do it already. So this is so much looking back to us, not looking back to the government, not looking back to the churches, not looking back to our neighbor. Oh, you didn't do this. You don't blame nobody. We. The responsibility is on us. And we here in One Global Movement, we, the mothers that you see here, these are the hawks of children all over the world. If you touch the child of a hawk, what does the hawk do? They come after you. So we are watching. We are going to feed our children. We are going to do whatever it takes to feed these children. And I have an acre here. the kind of, I've been learning how I can really maximize the produce out of this half an acre. This is not what I wanted, but I'm going to also go for more land because we have to talk by doing it. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much. I so love this. We're going to, please, just in case we forget, one person can remind us. We go in this same topic. We start bringing topics that will keep treating. And I know that some of you are very good at it than me. You know, yeah.
We work together. We all do it. Yes.
Hey, Kusha, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. We are happy you're here. And Guy Malapala, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. And Tyrone is here today. Thank you, sir, for being here today. We have Corrina saying, hello, everyone on Passive Family Sisters. Good night. Good night. Good
night.
Morning,
Good night, Surrender. He should go.
Fire. We are on fire. Yes, we are. When it concerns children,
fire. I love that.
Yeah. Happy, enjoy the day. We are so in it to win it. Yes, we are in it to so win it. And let me see. We have Sanada. Hi, how are you? Corrina is saying hello to everyone here. We have our beautiful sister, Nancy Jody. We are waiting on her to bring her blessing on this stage someday. She will. She's getting ready to do that. Hello, everyone. Happy day to all the panelists. Thank you so much.
That's great. And come on, Nancy. Come on down.
Hi to Dr. Ben. Hope you have a wonderful day. We are praying for her to have a wonderful day in whatever she's doing.
I don't. Yeah.
And our sister Yvonne Finn said, the connection between poverty and food insecurity cannot be ignored and will require a multifaceted approach to find solutions. Very good. And we have Cassie Reese Westwara. How are you? On Passive Family, I love you so much. We love you as well. Thank you so much for being here. And our sister Esther says, welcome everyone to #One Global Movement, #On Passive. Thank you, Esther. It's very nice to say that. Mr. Ashmufari. Put the hashtag there, because if not of him, we will not be here. So, hi, Corrina says, and Giri Malapala Tarun, and everyone in the audience here.
I did hashtag Ashmufar a little down further.
Yeah. And then
you're right, we wouldn't be here.
We have Levi, our brother Levi. How are you? Greetings to all my beautiful panelists. Greetings, Levi. Thank you so much for supporting. And he also comes to the 8 p.m. most of the time. I'm telling you, these people, they are on fire. They are really on fire. Gurango, how are you? Hello, everyone. Good job. Good job. You're here too. We thank you for supporting us. We are so in it to win it. Yes. We are so in it to win it. And our brother Levi says, well said, Mundih. Unemployment is a cause of food insecurity. Yes, that is one factor. And our man, John Barilla, is here. Hello to everyone. One Global Movement. Speak with heart. What is that? Speak with heart. Feel free to comment. And our sister Yvonne Finn is #One Global Movement, #Speak with Heart to help find solutions for global insecurity. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And our sister Corrina says, #One Global Movement, #Speak with Heart, #On Passive, #Ashmufare, #Abolish Hunger. You are doing wonderful. I love that. And then our sister Cezanna, how are you? Beautiful. Hello, Dr. Mundih, and all of us here on the panel. Hello, brothers and sisters. Greetings from Croatia. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We highly appreciate you. And then we have Francis Lemoa. How are you, brother? Thank you so much for being here today. We are happy to have you here today. We are here supporting and serving our children worldwide in all their endeavors, but more so to abolish hunger. Because if they can't eat, if they don't have good food, they will not be able to invest in themselves. So as it says, hello, Susanna. We are happy to have you here again. Yes. And then we have Anpasi, Bangladesh. Hello, brother from Bangladesh. How are you? What's your name? We are happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming. Come again. We go twice a day at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime and at 8 p.m. Eastern Daytime. But remember, tomorrow will be on O-Connect. We'll be on O Connect. If you can sign in, every Friday is O Connect. Later on, when we can connect to YouTube without any problem, we will be doing everything using our O Connect product. We're doing this because the children always want there to watch. So, Sukumaran, how are you? I love you on Passive Family. We love you too. Thank you so much for being here today. You are highly welcome here. And then I'm trying to look just to make sure that I don't. Awesome and heartbreaking emphasis about what is the foundational causes of food insecurity, both in developing and developed countries. Yes.
And teach your children, or teach your young people discernment, and teach your children to grow your own food.
Yes, there you go. Yes. Food insecurity is a pitiable issue that every person, including governments, need to join hands together to address. We know that people from developing countries are worse off, and we need to seek solutions. Thank you so much. We need to seek solutions now. And they might be at that worst point. What made them to be at that worst point? When Brother Smart asked the question, how is it that the continent of Africa is so rich and they cradle the world with all the mineral resources and everything? And how is it that they are so poor? That is a loaded question.
One word.
Those who know, we
Government.
know. We know. And Pana, thank you so much for being here today. We highly appreciate you. And good night, Pana. Okay, thank you for being here to support this movement. Yes, good night. Okay. And John Barilla says, I am having
internet-y problems.
Problem today.
Internet-y
for me to communicate on here today. That's okay, John.
John.
All right, John. You can only try. Thank you for letting us know. Yes, thank you, Esther. And thank you, ladies, for your excellent contributions here today. I also appreciate you all very much. Great job. Great job.
I so appreciate you.
You guys need to pat yourself on the back and say, I did it. I did it. And then we have our brother Momodu, as always, contributing so highly. Food insecurity in developing countries has negative impact in our children's health, education, and the overall progress and development. And these insecurity are caused by so many factors, so many. And just so you know, so many factors, most of it are external factors. But then the media here, look here, hey, look here. No, that's not the look here. No. Thank you so much, Momodu. Thank you. And our sister Yvonne said, hashtag Mr. Ash Mufare, whose vision has supported our mission on one global movement where we hashtag speak with heart. Yep. If not of Mr. Ash Mufare, we will not be here. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Rajiv, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everyone in Eat to Win It. Yes, we in Eat to Win food insecurity for our children. We want to make sure that our children also eat, right? And Mr. Ash Mufara says, he made the statement. I always quote him because he always says the right thing. He says, if somebody offers you a plate, somebody offers you a good meal, won't you want to share that meal with another person?
Absolutely.
That's the reason we are here. We want to share with all children, not just feeding our own children without caring for the rest. And Corrina is saying, hi, Rajiv here. So
I love that story, brother.
So much. And I want to let you guys know today, you might see my background there is different.
Yes.
I am running we together, but mostly I do it because we are promoting helping our children to defeat hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. You cannot defeat hunger without also defeating illiteracy. We have to do this because poverty goes around this too. So one of our own, because charity begins at home, we cannot be talking here without doing it ourselves so that the kids should understand and other people. So my son is publishing a book, like you see him there. He's a tall, big, gentle giant. He is an aerospace engineering student. He's in school right now. So I have been putting him on the hot seat with interview for publishing a book. This will be the second children's book. I'm just saying this so that you know that this is what I'm doing. So all of us can do it, not for any other reason. He published his first children's book internationally. Amazon #1 best-selling author. Now he said he will publish another one. He wants to continue to publish those books to help children. And he draws so well, you know, that Amazon says he doesn't need any editor. So he does all those things. He wants to promote the early spirit of reading in children. Children read by
Oh, yeah.
seeing. When they see those beautiful
yes.
graphics, beautiful animals, they will read. He started reading before he turned 3. I took to the
Yeah.
advice of my grandmother that read to your child in your stomach, especially when that child, that baby is 4 months, 5 months old, they start moving. Read to them, bless them,
Yep.
speak the blessing over them. Give them to God what you want these children to be, and they will become. We did that. Me and the dad, we did that. Every time we're reading, this child is bombarding my stomach like crazy. He was happy. He came out. He came out.
Yes.
We bought books. We
Yes.
surround him with books and letters and numbers. That's what he likes. He likes
Yes.
flying things, with aircraft and all those things. So this child will sit on the toilet with a book, eating with a book, everything with a book. My mother started crying, say, "This child is not eating. This child is not eating. Take that book away." See, I grew up. Didn't I grow up? I don't know how to read and write, but she's saying it from her own perspective, thinking that you
Yes.
have to feed the child, and the education really doesn't matter because when you feed, the child will grow. But
Take
that's not
that
the
book
concept.
away.
Yes, and so he attended a lot of government sent programs in the world because he doesn't talk anywhere. He doesn't talk that much, but he is doing well, and he's
Mhm.
publishing. The publication date is today. It ends at 12 midnight. We urge everyone who can support. You don't have to. I'm just saying that we need to support our children. You don't have to do
Yeah.
it. $1.99 to order before 12 midnight. Because when you order, you're giving a gift to your own child, or you're giving a gift to another child, or maybe people who do homeschooling or Sunday school, whatever. We want to spread these things because he's planning to donate about 20 books into the World Library that we're planning to
Yeah.
create for children all over the world.
Right.
Maybe 195 books in every country. Why not? So
Yeah.
that is the essence. He also donated to the local libraries. He's donating to the Children's Hospital, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, because when you donate beautiful diagrams, love, heart, animals, the children will get better with the
Yeah.
medication that they are receiving. So it is so important. And he also helps with math concept and higher math for children that are
Mm.
struggling. He does it.
Yeah.
He
Hello,
also
hello,
helps. So
everyone.
just so you know, because those are the things that he is gifted with. So he knows how to help children, and let
Yeah.
alone music too. So, but these two are very important: reading and
Yes.
mathematics, especially
Yeah.
mathematics and reading. Is very important. So just so you know, so I will be on 4:45 p.m. until midnight. But he might not be there because he took time off school for the past 2 days. He might not be there, but I will be there. You can stop by. You don't need to order. Just say hello so that the children know that you're supporting them, because this is a children's program. You can just stop by to say, I support children. You can just stop by to say, I support food security for children. Anything that comes to your mind. That is the essence. Stop by and say hello. And Esther was with me last night. Esther was there to support, and she actually said something huge. And I was just so happy. And the children, they're watching. They watch.
Yes.
The
Yes.
comments that the children make in that YouTube, you'll be so happy that they're doing that. So that is just encouragement, not for anything, because I'm not lobbying for anybody to buy anything. No, that's not the case here. Just so we
It's
support children. That's
it's
all.
just the concept of walking the talk. That's the
Supporting.
concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. And yes, we took our 1 hour again. But and please let us come, and even with the chat, people in the chat, come out with topics concerning food security as you see it in your country affecting the children. Come out with topics so that we will talk about these things. So we don't just talk about it in general terms, but we start looking at it in specific areas of the world. All
And
right.
thank you for coming today.
Thank you guys for
Thanks
coming
everybody
today.
for
We love
coming.
you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. And always remember to remind your children to stay
Stay
focused.
focused.
Yes,
Stay
stay
empowered.
focused. Stay encouraged. Stay empowered. And
believe
always
in
believe in endless
endless
possibilities.
possibilities.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Love you.
I love that.